Hey, Pirata. Hi, I'm Keith Plaskett, coming from Peru, North Peru, South America. I'm a retired Navy Special Operations EOD operator, adventurer, undersea explorer, and sea captain. And I have a sea story for you. I have many sea stories. First, I want to introduce you to my friend, Mr. Piranha. You like the piranha? Yeah? No, he didn't like piranha. And I got my anaconda in the back here. It's over 20 feet. I got in the Amazon jungle. The sea story I want to tell you, I brought a boat from, it's a pirate sea story. I brought a boat from Miami, Florida, all the way to northern Ecuador through the Panama Canal. And it was a long trip, about 3,000 miles. And so I stopped many times along the way to take on fuel and food and check the weather ahead of me through the satellite images on the computer. So I was heading out, and about halfway through the trip, I came into this, I just left Roatan. We were in the high seas, really rough weather. We had 8-10 foot seas out there, and we did this for about 24 hours. So I came around the point of Nicaragua, and Christopher Columbus called this Gracias a Dios, which means thank God we made it through here. And back then they had the old galleon sailing ships, and they were hard to steer. And this particular area is really treacherous because of the fact that the seas are coming from all different directions, and so it's really hard to navigate through there. So once you get through, it's a little easier to make headway. So after about 24 hours of this mess, I decided to pull in behind one of these islands ahead of us, and we're on our way to San Andreas Island, which is a couple hundred miles off Nicaragua, and it's owned by Colombia. And so I pulled behind this island just to rest a little while, check the motors, and I told my first mate to watch out for boats. When I came in there, I heard some chatter on the radio from, it was Spanish, obviously. I just assumed it's fishermen. So anyway, I pull in and told him to watch out, see if there's any boats coming. So if anything came, to let me know, because I want to get on top of the wheelhouse where I kept my weapon, my 12 gauge shotgun, and I had it up there high so I could have a high purchase, and somebody wouldn't get the drop on us. Well, I was down about probably 5 minutes in the engine room checking the engines and generator and whatnot, and all of a sudden, first mate runs down and says, Skipper, they're here." I'm thinking, who's here? So I jump out of the engine room, come running back to the back deck, and here's a boatload of pirates with AK-47, Russian Kalashnikovs, automatic weapons, and they were coming on the boat. And so they got on the boat and told us to get down on the deck, lay down on our stomach, and they put guns to our heads, put these automatic weapons to our heads. And a couple other guys started ransacking through the boat. And I'm thinking, man, this is it. I just got out of Iraq, 2 tours in Iraq, and I'm going to die here on this little island by pirates. I said, such is the luck. Yeah. So I thought it was it. I thought this was truly going to be it. And so anyway, I started hearing some noise on the boat, on the other boat, the pirate boat, and all of a sudden these guys started scrambling off the boat. They ran off the boat, jumped on their boat, and took off. So after a couple minutes, I looked around to see if they were still in the area, if they could shoot us or whatever. And so they were gone. Then I looked over to the other side of me, and here comes another boat rushing in. I'm thinking, oh my God. So this boat was Nicaraguan Navy, and they were armed to the teeth. They came up, jumped on the boat, started being, they were very rude to us, very mean to us, and started searching the boat like, looking for drugs or whatever. I'm not sure what they were looking for, but they were searching the boat. What do you think, Pirata? Yeah? Okay. So anyway, the Teniente, he was, like I said, they were very mean to us, so I was asking him questions. He wouldn't answer me anything, so a few minutes later, he said, "Hey, this radio you have up here, this VHF radio, what's the distance on it?" And I said, "It's 20 miles, on a good day." And so he took my papers, boat papers, and took off. And he says, "Don't go anywhere." And I'm thinking, don't go anywhere. I mean, these pirates just came on board, had automatic weapons in our heads and ready to kill us. They didn't know I had $20,000 cash on the boat. And if they would have found it, I'm sure they would have shot us and threw us over the side, and made off with the money. So these guys took off, and I didn't tell them I had a satellite phone. So I get on the satellite phone. I called the cavalry back in the United States, and they apparently called the embassy in Nicaragua, the American embassy. About 15 minutes later, these guys come screaming back, giving us our papers, being very nice to us. Totally different from the first time when they came on board. And so I gave them some cigarettes and some whiskey that I had on board and said goodbye and all that. They took off. I pulled anchor and got the heck out of there. And we were heading back out to the high seas again, 8-10-foot seas. And it was another, that was the afternoon, so we left there and we hit San Andreas like 2 days later. And we came in, the seas were getting rough, up to 10 to 12 foot seas. So we had to go down to the southern end of this island because there was a barrier reef right off the front of it. So we went in from the side, and as we're approaching, we're coming down that barrier reef. There were shipwrecks all along, big freighters, you name it, small fishing boats. Lots of boats tried to go across that reef and trying to get out of storms or whatever, and ended up crashing into the reef and sinking. So I went way down south, came back in, and finally we got into San Andreas. And so we cheated death one more time, and that was good. That was good to be able to make it out of that little situation. So we headed on down to Panama, went through the canal, and after we got through the canal to the Pacific Ocean, we could smell the Pacific breeze, which was really nice, an incredible sense. And we headed out for northern Peru, or northern Ecuador. And I stayed about 300 miles offshore because I didn't want to run into any more pirates and have any more problems, which we didn't. We were strafed by a couple planes, but nothing really out of the ordinary. So that's my sea story, and I'm sticking to it. What do you think, Pirata? Did I make you fall asleep? He's blinking. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Okay. All right. Captain Keith signing off.